Judging, Paul Harris, Harold Lederman, referee Ozzie Sadler. In this corner, white trunks with a black stripe from Indianapolis at 175 pound, Marvin Johnson. His opponent from Philadelphia, also 175 pound, red trunks with a white stripe, Matt Franklin. This is the beautiful belt. Hold that, Ozzie, will you a moment? That will be presented to the winner. It will be the light heavyweight champion for North America. Very nice.
The belt for the North American Boxing Federation light heavyweight champion. And that title is now vacant, as John Conte had been the light heavyweight champion, and it's kind of confusing as how Victor Galindez ended up winning the championship and vacating that title. It's sort of confusing to me. There's a lot of things that happen in boxing, Bob. Maybe you can enumerate on it.
What happened was that John Conte, of course, from England, was the world light heavyweight champion, and he was supposed to fight Miguel Angel Coelho in Monaco. And the fight was all set. 2 days before the fight, Conte decided that he didn't want to leave England and didn't want the fight. Now, this was a mandatory bout put across by the World Boxing Association that he had to fight this fight, so Conte refused to go and fight 2 days before the fight, so his title was stripped from him. So Victor Galindez, I guess, ended up in a match winning the title. He was the North American champion, and he ended up in a match with and became out the title, the world champion, and that vacated the North American title, which is now being fought for by Mike Franklin in the red trunks and Marvin Johnson in the white.
12 rounds for the North American Boxing Federation Light Heavyweight Championship. In white trunks from Indianapolis, Indiana, is Marvin Johnson. And in the red trunks, Matthew Franklin out of Philadelphia. Last time here on PRISM against Johnny Townsend, Marvin Johnson was most unimpressive, although he did win in 10 rounds.
Johnson the puncher, but Matt Franklin the boxer.
Southpaw style of Marvin Johnson. Last out on April 22nd, KO Tom Bethea of Indianapolis.
And he really hit him. I mean, Bethea was hit from a punch that I think it took him 2 days to recover from.
Very impressive fight that was on national television. And the other bout we spoke about against Johnny Townsend here on PRISM on February 21st, a winner in 10 rounds.
Another interesting side note to this bout here, the winner must defend its title within 90 days, or else they'll be stripped of the title of North American light heavyweight champion. So it's in a sense, it's almost like a elimination bout for the title. So even though the title be awarded to the winner of this bout, 90 days in between now and 90 days from now, it must be defended against another one of the top contenders in that division.
Matt Franklin, rated as one of the top 15 light heavyweights in the world. It's Marvin Johnson. Johnson rated number 4, if I'm not mistaken, by the WBA.
His record's only 15-0 with 12 KOs, but that's his professional record. He's had an awful lot of amateur bouts. Marvin Johnson was one of the best amateur fighters in his division in the country, or even in the world, for that matter. You can bet both fighters will be in the peak of condition for this bout.
15 seconds to go to the end of round one of a scheduled 12-rounder.
Marvin Johnson, much the aggressor in that first round. He kept plodding after Matt Franklin. Franklin, anyway, had an awful lot of trouble with
Townsend here.
Joe May in Wilmington.
Oh.
Because it was not his last fight against Eddie Turner, which was on, of course, that benefit card for Tyrone Everett. But back in April of this year, he fought Joe May in Wilmington, who is a heavyweight, rather. And May has a very plodding style and a very heavy puncher. And Matt Franklin did win the decision in 10, but had an awful lot of trouble with the straight-ahead plodding style of Joe May, which Marvin Johnson has exhibited in the first round here tonight. So it'll be interesting to see just exactly how Franklin will be able to handle that same style, which he had so much trouble with back in April.
You saw Champ Chaney, the trainer of Marvin Johnson. Southpaw style of Johnson. Matt Franklin, obviously the better boxer of the two, but the hitter, no question about that, is Marvin Johnson.
Johnson has that plodding style, but he likes to have a fighter come at him, where he likes to counter as much as possible. He seems that as much as trouble that Franklin has had with that straight-ahead plodding style, then I think Johnson will really go to the attack and not wait like he usually does and have the encounter.
The thing about Marvin Johnson is he has only 15 professional fights, but he has had 65 wins as an amateur, 55 of those KOs. Oh, good uppercut there by Marvin Johnson, but Franklin keeps coming in. Scoring there against Marvin Johnson. Johnson backs away.
Good combination of Franklin.
Oh, good solid right there too, Bobby. Johnson keeps snapping back, or rather Franklin keeps snapping back Johnson's head every time he tries to throw a combination. Oh, good exchange. Marvin Johnson and Matt Franklin. Good uppercut.
He's coming through from the bottom. Coming upstairs, coming from underneath is Marvin Johnson, and I think he's bloodied Matt Franklin's nose a little bit. We're seeing lots of action here in round number 2. We're going into closing seconds of the second round.
Boy, both fighters going toe-to-toe. 20 seconds to go in round number 2. Oh, solid combination there, but Franklin wasn't phased. Oh, that's the end of round 2. Franklin very happy with that one and puts his hands in the air.
He's singular, but his nose is bleeding now from a good right uppercut by Marvin Johnson. Great exchange in the second round by both fighters. Of course, it's not hard to see who's the favorite, being a hometown boy from Philadelphia, Matt Franklin.
Matt Franklin with a record of 15-3-2 and certainly has great international experience. Here's the exchange here, Bob.
Some very good exchange, right up there, toe-to-toe. Both fighters exchanging good left and right combinations and scoring. I couldn't really tell you who would go in that round. Both of them scored well.
Franklin gained international prominence on May 21st last year in Milan, Italy. He scored an 8-round decision over lefty Mate Parlov of Yugoslavia. At the time, Parlov was rated number 2 by the WBC. Ready for round 3, and the way the leather has been flying, highly unlikely we'll make it through 12. Marvin Johnson, undefeated in 15 bouts, 12 of them by KO.
He took a left hook to the chin there, but then he scored with a good left-right combination to the body.
Johnson working away on Matt Franklin, who's in heavy trouble. And Franklin laughs at Marvin Johnson after he took 5 or 6 of his best pops.
Oh, he's coming from underneath Marvin Johnson, and
a leather flying here. Center's Nick and Joe Belfiore telling Franklin to back off a bit.
oh, he has really come from underneath.
Is really popping here. Johnson going to the head of Matt Franklin, and Franklin, after taking a couple good shots, countering himself.
He is taking, Franklin has taken some excellent uppercuts from Johnson that has bloodied his nose.
Ozzie Sadler, the third man in the ring, has had to do absolutely nothing so far.
Another good left uppercut. His left has been able to score better than the right lead he has.
And Franklin countered. Good right by Matt Franklin to the chin of Marvin Johnson.
Good left hook by Johnson.
Another good left bout. That one got through. We could see it right here. 35 seconds to go in round 3. Franklin scored with a solid right, another right.
Boy, I'll tell you, when they said this is a dream match, the puncher versus the boxer, they weren't whistling when they said it, because this has been a very good bout so far, and we've only into round 3.
Franklin scoring, and then Johnson comes back.
Oh, the left.
I tell you, Coach, if this is a tough one to score, we're only into the 3rd round. That's it, the end of round 3. Oh, the fans love this one, Bobby.
Have they ever come alive? Both fighters really exchanging some excellent blows.
Is it?
Let's see some of that action there in round number 3. Believe me, that left uppercut of Johnson has come through repeatedly. There he is. He come up through it again. Up again. That's where Matt Franklin kind of smiled when he took all those shots from Johnson, and as if to say, see, it didn't even hurt me. I took your best shots, and they didn't even hurt me. But I would have to score that round in favor of Johnson, Hugh, and I'm going to keep a running scorecard on here. I've got it 5-4 Johnson in the first round, 5-4 Franklin in the second, 5-4 Johnson in this round.
Well, they're going to go toe-to-toe, and highly unlikely either boxer will be around for 12.
And every punch that Franklin throws, whether it lands or not, this crowd is just going crazy.
One of the more exciting bouts we've had on PRISM.
Both fighters standing there throwing a great exchange, and then the other one sits back and throws an exchange, and believe me, the crowd is right on their feet with every exchange, no matter who's throwing them.
Good left jab, and now Johnson goes uppercut city to the head of Matt Franklin. see for yourself, the name of this game is going to be conditioning. Johnson has a habit of walking into Franklin.
Oh, what a left by Johnson there.
Oh, really snapped Franklin's head back and bleeding rather profusely from the nose. Half the round to go. Round 4. And Franklin takes the shots by Johnson for about the first 75 seconds and then comes on the latter stage of the round.
Boy, does he ever. Both fighters have thrown so many punches that, you know, they look almost punched out by the 4th round.
Now scoring ahead of Marvin Johnson. On the ropes, Matt Franklin. Marvin Johnson in the white trunks. Franklin tries to go uppercut. Left and right, but Franklin hits Marvin Johnson. As Johnson he got 2 out. Johnson trying to hang on. He allowed it. 5 seconds to go. That's it.
And both fighters contended after the bell, and listen to this crowd for Matt Franklin. Boy, did he unload a right hand on the jaw of Marvin Johnson, knocked his mouthpiece out, and then come back with a good left hook and another right hook, and had Johnson in deep trouble. And of course, the bell, the end round number 4, was what saved Johnson at that time. Let's take a look at some of that action. There's the right hand there that knocked the mouthpiece away from Marvin Johnson. Another good right. Good right there. Left. Johnson vainly trying to hang on to tie up Franklin. That's when the bell went there, and neither fighter heard it because the crowd was really responding to that exchange.
24-year-old Marvin Johnson, undefeated in 15 pro bouts and in heavy trouble as we prepare for round 5.
That one you have to score in favor of Matt Franklin.
No question about that. Let's see if Marvin Johnson has any punching power left. Ozzie Sadler, the referee, did not hear the bell that ended that round, and Franklin able to get a couple more shots in, but not enough to hurt Marvin Johnson.
I don't think anybody heard the bell. Everybody was yelling and screaming for Franklin to put him away. And
boy, it's exchange for exchange. 3 for 3, 3 for 3.
Franklin exhibiting good straight left-right jabs. Johnson favoring the hook.
Here's the Johnson found some second wind, Bob, but Franklin has been his style through the first 4 rounds. Taking the best shots by Marvin Johnson and then poured it on the last minute and 30. Good solid hook by Matt Franklin to the chin of Marvin Johnson. Oh, there's good exchange by Marvin Johnson.
Left-right combinations.
Right above us, directly above us.
imagine the condition that both these athletes have to be in to exchange so many punches and to receive so many. They have had to train long and hard for this. Real good left hooks by Johnson scored to Matt Franklin's jaw. There's a right hook that scored.
Franklin is still there, still taking Johnson's best shot. 30 seconds to go in round 5. Franklin with that sneaky, crisp right hook gets it in on Marvin Johnson's jaw.
Oh, good left
solid left, just teeing off. Well, I have to say that despite Franklin winning the previous round, I've got to score that Marvin Johnson, Bob.
It's almost like Johnson's round, and then the next round it goes to Franklin, and the next round to Johnson. It's been an excellent fight, lots of action. One that we thought would, of course, wouldn't be a very dull one. When you're going after the title, it's not usually a dull fight. There you see Johnson. There's a good left hook. Another good left one. Franklin, in that round anyway, most of his blows were glancing blows, and we were able to take it by the gloves of Marvin Johnson. But Johnson got through 2 super left hooks to the chin and forehead of Matt Franklin.
Both men already into the center of the ring, waved back by referee Ozzie Sadler. Round 6.
Franklin, you remember, lost that real controversial decision to Eddie Gregory back in March, I believe it was. But he came back and defeated Joe May, we mentioned earlier, and Ed Savage Turner, but he's had 3 losses, and all 3 losses have been really controversial ones. So if it were not to the tune of a judge's pencil, we could have 2 undefeated fighters going after this title right here tonight.
Matt Franklin, who was trained by Nick and Joe Blanfiore, bleeding again around the nose as Marvin Johnson tries to zero in.
Oh, there was a good left by Johnson that scored it. Franklin waded into.
Now Franklin's starting to counterpunch and doing it well. Oh, good left by Johnson to the head of Matt Franklin.
Oh, good left jab got through. Right uppercut, just glances.
Hook right and left uppercut by Marvin Johnson.
Franklin's right eye is swelling somewhat underneath.
Johnson is throwing with such intensity on a couple of occasions, going right off both feet. Franklin starting to cover up with 35 seconds to go in round 6.
Johnson with a good left hook.
Saw a lot of leather in the Briscoe bout, but it only came from one side. Here are both guys going at it. Although in this round, Matt Franklin's taking a lot of punishment.
Johnson just snapping Franklin's head back with that left uppercut and that right hook. Just snapping his head back and forth like a speed bag.
Well, I'll have to go with Marvin Johnson again, Bob.
I would think so. The last 2 rounds, he's taken over. But as we found earlier, that Matt Franklin seems to be in his worst trouble. He seems to respond the best. And it's come out popping.
Taking a look at the previous records, each man has faced Vandell, Big Boy Woods, Franklin a winner by a knockout, Johnson by decision. They also both fought Harold Carter, Johnson a winner by a knockout and Franklin by a decision. So it kind of flip-flops with both fighters. Johnson scored a 1-round knockout over Wayne McGee. McGee, by the way, defeated Franklin, but then helped Matt Franklin do a draw in a rematch. We also saw that Wayne McGee fight, if I'm not mistaken, here on PRISM, Bob, did we not? September 14th. Round number 7 of the scheduled 12-rounder for the North American Boxing Federation Light Heavyweight Championship. Matt Franklin of Philadelphia and Marvin Johnson from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Matt Franklin in the red trunks, Johnson in the white. Johnson's really been the aggressor throughout the 7 rounds, and Franklin has countered very well. When he has won a round or when he has scored more on the offense than Johnson is from counter punching. But Johnson's been the stalker. He's the one that's been going after Franklin right from the opening bell of each round, and he's the one that's been waiting in.
Southpaw.
Oh, it's 2 left-right combinations.
Left that snuck through for sure there. Doesn't do much at all with his right, Bobby.
No, his left has been his most powerful punch tonight anyway.
Right occasionally to set up that uppercut or hook.
Of course, he has that southpaw style, so. Naturally, that's where his power lies, is in that left hand.
That's what I talked about, Bob, with Johnson going off his feet. He walked into that one, Bob.
Yeah. But they're just straight left-right jabs, but they're not really hurting Johnson, but they're keeping him at bay.
30 seconds to go in round 7. Becoming a tough fight now for Matt Franklin as Marvin Johnson scores with 3 straight left hooks. That's it. That's the end of round 7. And also,
round 7.
Yeah,
scheduled 12-rounder.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into. The fact that obviously the first time that either fighter has gone 12 rounds.
We've come some variety of upcoming sporting events here on PRISM. Of course, we're going to have more boxing come your way. World Team Tennis, wrestling from the Spectrum, rodeo, of course, nightly horsing racing, and of course, lots and lots of Philly baseball. And those Phillies are red hot right now, and they're just that much closer to their 2nd straight Eastern Division crown. And you'll see all the important games, or at least a lot of the important games, right here on PRISM.
And next week, a junior welterweight world championship bout featuring dethroned champion Wilfredo Benitez. Now we're into round number 8.
Ooh, good right hook by Franklin. Stopped Marvin Johnson in his tracks. Another right scored. He's going to have to come alive because in my estimation, he hasn't won the last 3 rounds. Those have been all Marvin Johnson.
Johnson walked into an uppercut there, but boy, Wells away with 2 left hooks. Trying to set up Matt Franklin for the KO.
Set him up for a uppercut.
Marvin Johnson just 24 years of age, and Matthew Franklin 23, so both fighters very relatively young and on their climb to the world boxing title. And the winner of this, of course, is going to be that much closer because he's going to be the North American champ.
Good uppercut there by Franklin, but didn't even faze Marvin Johnson. At least it didn't appear that way.
Come alive a little bit more in this round. The 3 prior rounds, Johnson has been dealt out most of the punishment, but now Franklin is starting to counter his own. And
took a good pop there.
Oh, 2 good pops.
Good combination by Marvin Johnson to the head of Matt Franklin.
Neither fighter really has been that to being close to being knocked down.
Although we had Johnson in heavy trouble, if I'm not mistaken, in round 6.
Just at the end of the round.
Franklin scoring a couple there, Bob.
Oh! He's doing something there, but they still the old John L. Sullivan routine. You're just standing there and I'm trying to unload that right hand. He says, come on, Johnson, hit me with your best left, and it's not phasing me.
Oh, scoring late in the round as Matthew Franklin finding that second wind as we have intermission before round 9. Good late comeback again, Bobby.
Well, let's take a look at that John L. Sullivan style of Matt Franklin. There he is, right there. He's back to his camera. He's just standing there, flat-footed. Took 2 good left-right combinations to the face from Marvin Johnson, and then he just, right at the bell, scored with a real good, solid right hand. There he is. It's John L. Sullivan returns.
Matt Franklin and Marvin Johnson for the North American Boxing Federation Light Heavyweight Championship.
Round 9. You'd think that Franklin's style that he's more effective away from the fighter, not that good close infighting which Johnson seems to really favor. That swelling under the right eye of Matt Franklin hasn't really gotten any worse than it had when it first started back in round number 3.
Advantage in arm reach, I would have to say, goes to Matt Franklin, but has not been able to score that effectively to the chin or head of Marvin Johnson. Well, occasionally gets the quick whip in from shorter distance.
Johnson's trunks are bloodstained. Of course, that's coming from the nose of Matt Franklin.
Oh, Matt Franklin has just hit Johnson with about 7 or 8 short ones, but didn't have a lot of zip to them. Or maybe it's Marvin Johnson running out of gas. We'll see.
He might be all punched out here. He's throwing so much leather.
Well, that could very well be the case, Bobby. That particular style, good hook that time by Matt Franklin.
Oh!
Johnson
He wasn't too punched out because he saw 3 solid left hooks to Matt Franklin. But Matt Franklin wasn't even staggered. And they were solid punches.
Oh, he scored to the head of Marvin Johnson, did Matt Franklin there. Quick, sneaky right. Johnson walked in another sneaky right. And Johnson counters.
Really good right.
Marvin Johnson, Bobby, might be running out of legs. Matt Franklin trying to send away Marvin Johnson. Just seconds remaining. That's it, the end of round 9. Johnson again late in the round, running out of gas, and Matt Franklin coming on.
I think the one time there when Johnson went back that you saw Matt Franklin hold on his glove as a shake, because I think it was more of a push than a punch. And he slept, as we can pick up on it here on the replay. Glancing blow. There's a good right left and another left by Johnson, a right hand that come through and scored, but there's another good left uppercut. Johnson has really got that left hook and left uppercut through on Franklin all throughout this bout, but not strong enough or not heavy enough to really put away the fellow from Philadelphia. Round number 10 coming up. I would think Matt Franklin was going to have to really come out alive and win these last 3 rounds in order to gain this North American title, because my estimation, I think Johnson's ahead on points.
Well, I don't think he's that far behind, Bobby, and he starts aggressively here in round 10.
Whoever thinks about, well, I'll tell you, we've seen an excellent boxing card.
Marvin Johnson took one and gave one. Boom! Each fighter toe to toe. That's boom. Here in round 10.
We've seen Franklin take Johnson's best left hands, but we haven't seen Johnson take too many of the good right hands that Franklin's been known for.
Shot to the midsection by Matt Franklin to Marvin Johnson, but then Johnson gets out of the cocoon and unloads good, vicious uppercuts to Matt Franklin's chin.
Glancing blow. I don't think that landed, but that right hand did.
Franklin starting to use the left to keep Johnson at bay to set up that right hand. Maybe he should have been doing from the early rounds.
Blood starting to trickle from Matt Franklin's nose again. Oh! Right hook.
Oh, the few that Marvin Johnson has thrown all night.
He's relied on that left of his, but that time he got right for it. There's some combination coming through on Franklin's part.
Oh,
Man, what a fight.
30 seconds to go in round 10.
Well,
Franklin bleeding from the nose again, trying to use the ropes for a brief respite.
oh, another left hook.
That's it. That's the end of round 10.
The fans are loving every minute, every punch of this fight, and believe me, there's been a lot of them thrown. Franklin's been able to come through with a couple of punches, but I don't think he's scored as often as Johnson. Johnson, right now, in my estimation, is clearly ahead in points. But
There it is,
that's
Bobby.
only one man's opinion. As you can see, most of the blows that Franklin gets through are glancing blows, or Johnson takes him on his shoulders. There's another glancing one. There's a good right uppercut by Franklin, but good solid punches. He's only been able to land maybe two or three in a round, whereas Johnson has landed that left hook repeatedly.
I must say, if it goes 12, it will be a most unpopular decision either way.
11th round coming up. What a fight that we've seen here tonight. This could even be a draw.
Franklin scoring with rights, but then Marvin Johnson comes back again. Referee Ozzie Sadler separates both fighters.
What condition both these fighters are in. That leather has popped right from the opening round.
Johnson with a good exchange there, a good combination. Another good right. The chin of Marvin Johnson. Fans behind us yelling at Matt Franklin to get off the ropes.
That's where he's been getting in most of his trouble throughout the bout, is when he's been hanging on the ropes. When he gets out in the center ring, that's when he scores, and he'd be able to handle Marvin Johnson. Johnson's his most effective self against when he has a fighter on the ropes.
Johnson looks tired and is getting hit, but then gets a left, right, left combination in. But Franklin somehow still has a lot left. It's unreal. Johnson still trying to get that left hook or left uppercut in. Oh! Johnson took 3, 4, 5 good pops from Matt Franklin. And reeling. In heavy trouble. Matt Franklin has Marvin Johnson in deep trouble. 10 seconds to go in the round.
Referee Ozzie Sadler thought he had heard the bell.
Hold on.
Hey, I'll tell you, what a fight we have here.
I knew what happened. Ozzie got turned around. Thought that was the end of the round. Stopped it with about 10 seconds to go in the round.
And you know that's going to be a very controversial thing at the end of this fight. Had Ozzie Sadler not stepped in there thinking the round was over, would Matt Franklin been able to put away Marvin Johnson? We're up on round number 12, the final round. And believe me, what a fight we've seen. Both fighters have really shown well here tonight, and I would hate to be the judges to make the decision. There you see Matt Franklin signify that he won the round, 11th round, but now this is the 12th and final round. This is where it'll all be decided, I would think.
For the North American Boxing Federation Light Heavyweight Championship, Matt Franklin starts out aggressively as he ended round 11. Oh. Boy, this has been about the worst beating I'm sure that Marvin Johnson has ever taken. At the same for Matt Franklin. Johnson in deep trouble.
He's hanging on. Matt Franklin has Marvin Johnson in trouble. His right. Oh! His right eye is closed. I think he might be out on his feet. Yes! He's out! Matt Franklin! I think Matt Franklin has just knocked him out! He's out! Matt Franklin! Franklin, 108 in round 12. The ring is being inundated with well-wishers. And this place is going wild. What a finish. Unbelievable. I'll tell you, let's take a look at that again. Matt Franklin really came alive in this last round, and I believe Marvin Johnson was out on his feet even before he went down on the canvas. He was just hanging on. There he is right there. He's got no... That right hand of Matt Franklin proved to be the downfall of Marvin Johnson. There was a good uppercut there, Bobby, followed with the right cross. Johnson has turned around. Oh, there's the left. Picks off the right. That's when he had it. That left, I think, was the one that really finished. There you can see him just, he's out on his feet now. Not much there. Oh, there's a good left. Snap left hook. Oh, that was the uppercut. Right. That was it. Right. There it is. Holding on and going down. Look at all the arms, and everybody was in Matt Franklin's corner.